After 60, home becomes more than just a place. It's your sanctuary, your comfort zone, your story. But over time, that story can get buried under years of just in case, I might need it, but it has memories. Clutter doesn't just take up space, it weighs on your mind, your movement, and your mood. If you've ever looked around and felt overwhelmed, it's not just you. That's why today, we're gently uncovering 20 things that, if you're ready for a lighter, freer life, simply don't belong in your home anymore. Let's clear the clutter, one heartfelt step at a time. 1. Clothes that don't fit anymore and haven't for years. Let's start in the closet, that quiet little museum of someday. Maybe it's the pair of jeans from your 40s, a blazer from a job you haven't had in decades, or a dress that once turned heads at a wedding long past. They sit there, year after year, whispering things like, maybe one day, or, I used to look great in this. But here's the truth. Clothes that no longer fit aren't motivators. They're anchors. They keep you tied to a version of yourself that no longer exists or needs to. After 60, comfort, ease, and confidence in your body as it is today matter more than ever. You deserve clothes that honor who you are now, not who you were decades ago. When you let go of what doesn't serve you, you make room for what does. Imagine opening your closet and loving every single piece inside. That's not just decluttering, that's self-respect in action. 2. Duplicates of things you only need one of. It happens slowly. A second set of scissors because you couldn't find the first. Extra measuring cups. 4 different can openers. 7 coffee mugs when you use just one. And somehow they all end up tucked in drawers, crowding shelves, multiplying when you're not looking. After 60, your time and energy are too valuable to waste digging through extras you don't actually need. This is about streamlining, not minimizing for the sake of austerity, but for clarity. Because every duplicate you remove is one less thing to search through, one less item to clean around, one less distraction. Keep the best version, the one that works, feels right, and brings ease. Let the rest go. When everything has a purpose and a place, your home begins to feel like a retreat again, not a rummage sale in progress. 3. Old papers, manuals, and outdated documents. There's a drawer or maybe a box filled with them. Manuals for appliances you no longer own. Warranties that expired a decade ago. Receipts from furniture you bought in the 90s. Tax documents from jobs you don't even remember working. Paper clutter is one of the sneakiest forms of chaos. It builds quietly, gathering in piles and folders, always waiting for, someday, the day you might need to reference that vacuum cleaner from 2002. But here's a freeing thought, you probably never will. After 60, peace of mind comes from knowing what's truly important and letting go of the rest. You only need to keep the essential documents, your most recent medical records, legal papers, financial files from the past 7 years. The rest? Recycle, shred, or digitize. Your time and attention are precious resources. Don't let them be consumed by stacks of paper that no longer serve your life. 4. Furniture that's bulky, broken, or never gets used. We grow attached to furniture. A couch where grandkids once napped. A dining table that held decades of birthdays and holiday meals. But when that furniture becomes more of an obstacle than a blessing, when the arms are worn, the cushions sag, or it's simply too big for how you live now, it's no longer serving your peace or your space. As we age, our homes should work with us, not against us. Heavy furniture can make navigation harder. Low seats can strain the knees. Wobbly legs or sharp corners can become hazards. If you find yourself walking around that oversized coffee table every day just to get to the kitchen, it might be time to ask, why am I still keeping this? Letting go doesn't erase the memories. It opens the door to create new ones in a space that's safer, calmer, and better suited to the life you're living now. 5. Unused gifts you've kept out of guilt. Here's a tender truth. Not everything you've been given needs to stay. That fondue set from your niece's wedding 5 years ago, never used. The decorative bowl you never really liked. The set of perfume or lotion that doesn't feel quite like you. We hold on to these things not because we need them, but because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But guilt is not a good interior designer. A gift is meant to bring joy, not obligation. If it doesn't serve a purpose or bring a smile, it's not honoring the person who gave it, it's collecting dust. You can appreciate the thought behind a gift without keeping the object itself. Pass it on. Donate it. Let it find a new home where it will be used and appreciated. The love behind the gift doesn't live in the item, it lives in the memory, the gesture, and the connection. And that can never be thrown away. 6. Boxes of keepsakes you never open. This one can be the hardest. Somewhere in your home, maybe in the attic, a hall closet, or under the bed. there's a box filled with old letters, dried corsages, baby shoes, high school yearbooks, and souvenirs from trips long past. These items meant something once, and they still do. But if they sit unopened year after year, gathering dust, ask yourself this: are they honoring your memories or trapping them? Memory doesn't live in a box. It lives in you. If something is truly meaningful, find a way to integrate it into your life. Frame a favorite photo. Create a small memory shelf. Share a story with someone you love. But holding on to bins of nostalgia you never touched doesn't preserve the past, it only weighs down your present. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing to live in the now with clarity and intention. You can keep the memories. You can even keep a few treasures. But keep them where they can be seen, felt, and honored, not buried away in storage. 7. Outdated medications and expired toiletries. Let's open the medicine cabinet, that quiet corner of the home we often forget about. Bottles lined up like sentinels from decades past. Expired pain relievers, half-used prescriptions, creams that have lost their scent or their power. These remnants don't just take up space. They pose a hidden risk. Expired medications can be ineffective or even dangerous. Old ointments and toiletries may irritate the skin or no longer work as intended. But there's more at stake here than just safety. Holding on to expired items reflects a deeper resistance to letting go of old routines, old habits, even old versions of ourselves. Now's the time to clear it out. Toss what's outdated. Safely dispose of medications you no longer need. Keep only what's active, essential, and beneficial to your well-being. Imagine opening that cabinet and seeing a clean, organized space that supports your health, not one that holds the ghosts of ailments past. 8. Books you'll never read again. Books are sacred to many of us. They taught us things, carried us through seasons of grief or joy, reminded us who we were and who we hope to become. But here's a gentle invitation: if your shelves are packed with books you haven't touched in years, and likely never will, what are they really doing there? Books are beautiful, but they are not trophies. If you're no longer drawn to them, if your interests have changed, or if you simply don't have the space, that's okay. You're not betraying your past by letting go. You're making room for a future that fits better. Keep the ones that moved your soul, the ones you return to or hope to share. But pass along the rest, to libraries, donation centers, or friends. Books are meant to breathe. Let them find new hands and new hearts. Let your shelves reflect who you are now, not just who you once were. 9. Decor that no longer reflects you. Maybe it was trendy once. Maybe it came with the house. Maybe you bought it during a phase that's long gone now. But if the pictures on your walls, the knickknacks on your shelves, or the colors in your rooms no longer bring you joy, why are they still part of your daily life? Your home should feel like a hug, not a museum of outdated taste. As we evolve, our style does too. What once felt cozy might now feel heavy. What once seemed elegant might now seem cold. And that's not a sign of failure, it's a sign of growth. You deserve surroundings that lift you, not drag you back into versions of yourself that no longer fit. Take a look around. Ask, does this still feel like me? If the answer is no, it might be time to refresh. You don't need to redecorate your whole home. Even swapping a few pieces or simplifying your space can create a powerful shift in energy. Make your home a reflection of your spirit as it is today, peaceful, grounded, alive. 10. Hobby supplies you haven't touched in years. At one time, they lit a spark. Yarn for scarves you never quite finished. Paints and brushes waiting patiently for inspiration. Scrapbooking paper neatly stacked, full of intention but untouched. These are not just supplies, they're quiet reminders of dreams, hobbies, and creative phases that once gave you joy. But seasons change. And sometimes the hardest clutter to face is the kind tied to who we once hoped to be. You might feel guilt letting go, as if you're giving up. But you're not. You're simply acknowledging that time, energy, and priorities shift. If your hobby supplies haven't been used in years, ask yourself honestly, do I see myself returning to this? Or am I holding on to the idea of it? Keep what still excites you. Let go of what doesn't. There is someone out there who would be thrilled to have the chance to create with the very materials you no longer need. Let your unused supplies become someone else's new beginning and yours too. 11. Heirlooms no one in your family wants. This one touches a tender place. You've saved them for decades: the china, the crystal, the heavy dining set that once held family meals and laughter. Maybe it was passed down to you with love, and you've held on, believing your children or grandchildren would one day treasure it too. But now you've asked. And the answer, gently or not, was no. Today's younger generations often live differently. Smaller spaces, more moves, less attachment to material things. It can sting to realize that what meant so much to you may not hold the same weight for them. But here's the truth, your legacy is not measured in heirlooms. It's measured in love, lessons, and the way you made people feel. Instead of keeping things out of hope or guilt, ask yourself, what if I gave these items a new story with someone who truly wants them now? You can honor your past without being trapped by it. Let go, not in sadness, but with gratitude. The space you create can be filled with what matters most today: connection, presence, and peace. 12. Kitchen gadgets you never use. The drawer is full. Peelers, slicers, grinders, gadgets with names you can't quite remember, all promising to make life easier. But if you're like most, you reach for the same few tools every time you cook. So why are the rest still there? After 60, the goal isn't to have more options, it's to have the right ones. The ones that simplify, that feel good in the hand, that actually get used. Clutter in the kitchen creates more than mess. It creates decision fatigue, slows you down, and adds friction to what should be one of the most nourishing places in your home. Take it one drawer at a time. Ask, have I used this in the past year? Would I miss it if it were gone? Keep the essentials. Let the rest go, guilt-free. There's beauty in a kitchen that's clear, calm, and ready for the meals that still await you. Because your best dishes aren't behind you. They're still ahead. 13. Towels and linens that have seen better days. Open the linen closet and chances are there's a familiar stack waiting. Towels with frayed edges, faded pillowcases, sheets that don't quite fit any bed in the house. We hold on to them, just in case, for guests, for cleaning, for emergencies that rarely come. But after 60, it's time to ask, why surround yourself with worn and weary things when comfort is one of life's greatest luxuries? Your skin deserves softness. Your bed should feel like a sanctuary, not a storage spot for threadbare sheets. When you keep only what's fresh, functional, and truly comforting, you're not being wasteful, you're honoring your well-being. You don't need an overflowing closet. You need a few beautiful, reliable essentials that welcome you in every time. Let the rest go. Donate where you can. Repurpose the truly unusable. And allow your home to reflect the care you give to yourself. 14. Technology you don't use or understand. A drawer filled with tangled cords. An old smartphone you haven't turned on in 5 years. Chargers for devices you no longer own. Maybe even a DVD player collecting dust, long since replaced by streaming apps you haven't tried yet. Technology has changed fast, and it's easy to get left behind. But cluttered electronics don't just take up space. They remind us of the frustration we feel when we no longer understand how to connect in a digital world. Here's a better way. Keep only the devices that make your life easier, more joyful, or more connected. If it confuses you, drains you, or sits unused, you're not obligated to keep it. And if you want to learn, don't be afraid to ask. A grandchild, a neighbor, or even a tech support class at the library can open doors to tools that empower you rather than overwhelm you. The goal isn't to master everything. It's to simplify. To stay open, but not overrun. Your digital space should feel just as peaceful as your living room. 15. Sentimental cards and letters you never revisit. There's a box somewhere, maybe tied with ribbon or tucked in an old drawer. Inside, handwritten letters, birthday cards, notes from long-past loved ones. Every one of them holds emotion. But not all of them hold the same meaning. This is sacred ground. But even sacred things can become overwhelming. After 60, your time is precious. So is your emotional energy. You don't need to keep every card you've ever received to honor the people you love. You can hold on to the most meaningful ones, the letter that moved you to tears, the note that changed your perspective, and gently let go of the rest. One beautiful way to do this is by creating a legacy album. Select the letters that truly speak to your heart. Slip them into plastic sleeves or scan them into a digital format. That way their words stay close without the weight of every paper memory. And as you do, remind yourself, the love lives in you, not in the envelope. 16. Exercise equipment that's more guilt than gain. Tucked in a corner of the guest room or parked beneath a pile of blankets, there it is, the stationary bike that squeaks, the yoga mat gathering dust, the dumbbells you haven't lifted since the last New Year's resolution. We buy these items with the best of intentions. To move more. To stay strong. But when they go unused, they don't inspire, they weigh us down. Not physically, but emotionally. They become reminders of what we should be doing, rather than tools for living well today. If you're not using it, it's not serving you. And there's no shame in that. Ask yourself, would I be more likely to exercise if I had simpler tools? Something easier, more accessible, more aligned with how I live now? Maybe what you really need is a pair of walking shoes by the door or a 10-minute stretch routine in the living room. Movement doesn't require a room full of gear. It requires space in your home and in your mind to show up as you are. Let go of what no longer fits your rhythm, and move forward literally and emotionally with what supports you now. 17. Craft projects you never finished and never will. They started as sparks. That quilt you meant to finish. The knitting project half done. The cross-stitch set still in its packaging. Each one began with good energy. But now, they're sitting there, untouched, quietly reminding you of something left incomplete. Here's the thing, letting go of a half-finished project isn't failure. It's freedom. It's okay to change your mind, to evolve beyond a season where that hobby or interest felt exciting. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're giving yourself permission to grow. Instead of clinging to the maybe someday, ask, do I really want to finish this? Or am I holding on because I feel I should? If it no longer brings joy, donate the materials to someone who will use them. Crafting groups, schools, and local shelters often welcome supplies with open arms. Your time and creative energy are precious. Spend them where your heart still feels light. 18. Dishes and serving pieces you rarely use. Let's walk into the kitchen, into those top shelves and deep cupboards. The punch bowl brought out once every 5 years. The platter too large for your current table. The 3 sets of mixing bowls when one would do. These things had their season. Lavish dinners, big family holidays, celebrations full of noise and flavor. But life shifts. And often, what once made sense, the dish sets for 12, the extra gravy boat, the never-used fondue pot, now just takes up room. Literally and emotionally. There's beauty in simplicity, and peace in letting your kitchen reflect your current reality, not a past that no longer defines your day-to-day. Keep what you use and love. The teacup that feels right in your hand. The plate you reach for every morning. Let go of the rest. Donate to someone building their first kitchen. Gift it to a friend who hosts more often than you do now. You're not letting go of tradition, you're letting go of the clutter around it. And what remains is the essence, warmth, nourishment, and the joy of sharing meals in a way that suits your life now. 19. Decorations for holidays you no longer celebrate. There's a certain kind of nostalgia tucked away in storage bins, the wreaths, ornaments, figurines, and festive dishes tied to holidays that once filled your home with people, music, and tradition. And yet, if you're honest with yourself, many of those celebrations have changed. The gatherings are smaller now. Some loved ones are gone. And some traditions no longer fit the rhythm of your life. Still, you keep the boxes, just in case. But when something no longer brings joy, when it only brings dust, disarray, or bittersweet reminders, it might be time to release it. Holiday decorations should be uplifting, not burdensome. They should add sparkle to your space, not overwhelm it. Instead of storing 5 bins of seasonal decor, choose one. Keep what truly lights you up. The candle holder that brings warmth, the ornament with meaning, the table runner that still makes you smile. Let the rest go with gratitude. And remember, celebration can be simple. A few beautiful pieces, a favorite song, a handwritten note to someone you love, that's enough. More than enough. 20. Anything that makes you feel less than. This one isn't about an object. Not really. It's about a feeling. Maybe it's a pair of shoes you used to wear when you went dancing, but now they only remind you of what your knees no longer allow. Maybe it's a mirror that reflects your image in a way that feels more critical than kind. Or maybe it's an entire corner of your home filled with symbols of who you used to be, but no longer are. If anything in your home consistently makes you feel inadequate, guilty, or stuck in comparison, ask yourself this: why am I holding on to something that dims my light? Your home should be your refuge. A place that reflects who you are now, not who you were, not who you think you should be, but who you've become. Wise, seasoned, capable, and worthy of beauty, simplicity, and peace. Let go of the things that whisper unkind stories. You don't need them anymore. You never did. Because you are not your clutter. You are not your past. You are not the unfinished projects or the unworn clothes. You are your resilience. Your laughter. Your still burning curiosity. You are every memory and every moment still to come. What's one thing you let go of that brought you unexpected peace? Share your story. Your experience might inspire someone else who's just beginning their journey. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to click like, and subscribe to my Reboot for more gentle, thoughtful guidance on living well through life's next chapters.